I don't actually believe that what Sean Payton, Vance Joseph, and this entire Broncos team is saying about their upcoming matchup against CJ Stroud is true. I'm going to break it all down in this video and so much more. If you're new to this channel, I'm Ben. Helps me out a lot if you like and subscribe. So let's go ahead and dive in. We know that the Broncos have a massive game on Sunday against who a lot of people are saying is going to be the Rookie of the Year, CJ Stroud. Taking a look at some of the quotes here that we see from Sean Payton, from Vance Joseph. We see Sean Payton say he's playing well. If you watch him play, you feel like you're playing someone who's savvy and experienced. You don't feel like you're playing someone in their first year. He's confident. Now, exact same thing being said by Vance Joseph. His poise, obviously, is on point. You then look at something like Justin Simmons, the number one thing that stands out for him. He talks about watching film and seeing after he almost threw a pick six, the next drive he comes out with confidence and poise. So I think the first thing here is if someone were to ask a stranger about my YouTube channel, and the first thing they said was, well, Ben sure is confident. Like, that's almost like an insult. So if the first word that comes to their mind is poise, which is a synonym of confidence, I don't think that is something that we should be terrified about, right? I think if you were to ask anyone in the NBA about Wembanyama, it would be, this guy's an absolute freak. He's unstoppable. How are we supposed to scheme against this guy? If you were to ask him about LeBron, if you were to ask about Tom Brady, like, poise isn't the word that should scare you. It doesn't scare me. But even more so than that, I want to go through some data that just shows that having a great rookie year means absolutely diddly when it comes to your long-term success in the NFL. I kind of already spoiled this, but I'm going to list off a couple names here, and in your mind, I want you to see if you can identify this pattern. Trevor Simeon, Teddy Bridgewater, Colin Kaepernick, RG3, Carson Wentz, Baker Mayfield. I could go on and on and on. There are so many quarterbacks in the NFL who hit it big, who look like they're absolutely unstoppable, only to have defenses have a chance to scheme against them. Defenses have a chance to break down how they play against man and zone, and how they play with a 3-man rush or a 4-man rush, and how they play when you show blitz and when you don't, and how you can see their tendencies. The more data that a defensive coordinator has a chance to collect, the better a chance is that quarterback can then be stopped. And I think that's what's about to happen to CJ Stroud. To kind of prove my point, I've pulled up some quarterbacks who, at the time, there were some of the leading jersey sales in the whole country because everyone said, hey, that is the future. That's the future Tom Brady, right? I just think of Colin Kaepernick. And if you look over here, this is, we got his QBR over here. And you just look, QBR, or this is his rating, this column here. And this one is QBR. And you just see, hey, this was the year he was leading the league in jersey sales, and every single year in the NFL, he got worse. And he didn't get worse. He probably got incrementally better. But what happened was defensive coordinators, NFL head coaches had a chance to scheme against him, had a chance to pick down every second of film, and they found a stop for him. And I think that is where we're at with CJ Stroud. He's been great, but I think we have Vance Joseph, who has had a chance to look at him with a magnifying glass, and he's going to have an answer. He's going to have a set that Stroud hasn't seen yet. Let's look at some other players who've had this exact same thing happen. So we got RG3, and you just think of both of those guys that year in the NFC, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, we have two of the best future quarterbacks ever, and now neither of these guys are even in the league. And same thing here with RG3, where you see every single year in the league, his passer rating, which is this column, and his QBR drop. His touchdowns go down and his interceptions go up. And this is a repeatable pattern. You can find this for so many people that I almost lost count. I just did a quick Google research kind of thing, a trend on rookie quarterbacks who didn't live up to their stats their first year. And it was an insane amount who that happened to. I even remember falling for this myself. Upstairs, hanging in my closet, is a Trevor Simeon jersey. Because if you remember his first year, He beat the Chargers, dropped like 24 points on them, and I was so pumped. Only the next week to go to Dallas and throw 4 touchdown passes. And on Denver radio the next day, I remember Mark Schlereth saying, hey, we need to sign this guy to an extension. He's incredible. He's now not even in the league, or he's backing up someone. I saw him on a bench the other day. I don't remember where. But you look here, and his QBR drops from 49 to 30 after the NFL had film on him, and 84 to 73. So I think the worst your ceiling is as a quarterback, the quicker it is that defensive coordinators can figure you out. So Simeon dropped 24 points game 1 against the Chargers. He dropped 4 touchdowns the next week against Dallas. And later on that same season, he didn't even get in the end zone one time. The Chargers shut us out because Simeon didn't get worse, but NFL defenses had a chance to scheme for him. And we see this over and over and over. Baker Mayfield, another fantastic example. Remember all those commercials? He was like on my TV like nonstop. He was in every Allstate commercial you could find. Same thing, that you look that once the NFL figures you out, and the better you are, the longer it does take to figure out. But once you get figured out, it's over for you. And you just see that with so many people. I remember Carson Wentz when we played the Eagles thinking, oh my goodness, Blake Bortles so many times in the NFL. You are good until the NFL figures you out. And once you get figured out, what happens then? So I think that is what makes Russell Wilson so impressive, that you have decades of film on this guy, and still he's putting up quality numbers. If it wasn't for all the drama, he's putting up MVP numbers over these past 5 games with no turnovers, leading us to wins that a lot of people didn't think we have a single chance at. And so I think this is very good. I think if Vance Joseph, if Pat Surtain, if Justin Simmons, if Sean Payton were really scared of CJ Stroud, I don't think the word they would use would be poised. Like, very happy. I agree. He's very poised. He's confident. But I think what's about to happen is he's about to hit his rookie wall. That rookie wall, it's orange and blue, and it's wearing the number 31, and it's wearing the number 2. And I think Vance Joseph, Sean Payton have had plenty of time to dissect him, and you are going to see the toughest defense he's seen yet this year. When he played the Steelers, and he played pretty well, they hadn't had a chance to figure him out yet. Like Harbaugh, when he studied him and shut him down in that Michigan-Ohio State game, I think we are going to do that to another level. And when we do that, our spot in the playoffs is nearly secure. We have had a great last 5 weeks together. Thanks for being along for the ride. If you agree with me, if I'm on to something here, will you drop it in the chat? And if you think I'm like totally off base and CJ Stroud is going to be the next Tom Brady, I'm glad this thing will be on the internet and live forever. And I hope you keep rubbing my face in it for years to come. But Broncos country, we're going to win on Sunday. Either way, I will catch you guys here tomorrow on the post game. And Broncos country, let's ride.